So we got back to my building and climbed the 4 flights of stairs to my apartment, and he was like goosing me like the whole way up. And as soon as we got inside, he started a DFK, which is hooker speak for a deep French kiss. And he was like, let's go to your room. And I was about to be like, fuck yeah. But then I was like, oh no, I'm not supposed to do that. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, yeah, come on. And he like pulled me towards my bedroom. And so we sat on the bed and he started kissing me and he pushed me down. And I tried to like politely nudge him away. And then like I tried to sit back up and he wouldn't let me. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening, like holy fucking shit. And so he like held my wrist down and he started like frantically undoing his pants with like one hand while he held my wrist with the other, and I like tried to like wriggle free, but I was pinned. And so then he was like, don't act like you don't fucking want it, you fucking bitch. And I was like, whoa. And so that's when I started like fighting with him, because like I just wanted to like really fighting, because I wanted to be sure that he put on a condom, because like the last thing I need is a trick baby. So I reached toward my nightstand and grabbed the strip of condoms I had carefully laid out earlier in the evening. And he lifted my dress up over my head so I couldn't see what he was doing, and then we just began this like tug of war with my tights that went on for about like 90 seconds. And I was like trying to pull them up and he was pulling them down until they just like ripped. And then he just like jammed his dick in. And then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then he came. It was like literally 2 fucking seconds. And that was it. And so I was like, I wonder if this is like what real rape is like. It makes sense, because like, you know, like rapists aren't worried about like looking cool and like not like prematurely ejaculating, and it behooves them to get it over with quickly, you know. So he immediately began apologizing, and he was like, it's just that you're so sexy, give me a minute, I'll get hard again. Just let me collect myself. But I drowned out the sound of his voice with the sound of my vibrator. There was just no fucking way that I wasn't gonna come after all of that. So he started to like put his fingers in me, and I was like, surprise! And then within a few minutes, I came twice, and then tossed the vibe on the floor, and then he was just like staring at me. And then he tried touching my pussy again, which was like tender now because it had been like worked right. And then I was like, surprise! Like, get away! And I like got up off the bed and went into the living room and started watching TV. And he came out in just his boxers, and he sat down next to me. He was like rubbing my leg. He's like, I want to make you come again. And I was like, and I just like laughed in his face. And he was like, you're so cute how you always giggle at what I say. And then he started with another DFK. And then by this time, like, I started spinning and I realized just how drunk I was. So I pushed him away and I was like, why don't you get your clothes on? And he was like, no, I want to go one more time. Come on, you know you want it. And I was like, surprise! Get dressed, it's time for you to leave. So then he got his clothes on and he was tying his shoes, and I reached into my bag and pulled out an envelope with cash, and plus with an extra $50 tip. And I handed it to him, and he said, I still feel bad that it ended so quickly. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then so I reached in the envelope and I removed 2 of the 20s. And I was like, this is for the drinks I bought. And then I thought for a minute and then reached back in and I grabbed another saying, and that's for coming too fast. But actually, this is a lie, because really, Vice gave me $350 up front to pay this hooker, but I only gave him $100, but I didn't want to write that because I didn't want them to like get mad at me that I was like giving $250. So I ended up making more than the hooker did on this one. So he hung his head and he's like, yeah, that's only fair. And I called him a cab and like literally had to push him out of out of the door. And he kept trying to hug me and gently kiss me on my face, and I grimaced as I ducked and dodged his attempts at intimacy or cuddling or whatever the fuck he was trying to do. And as soon as he was gone, I slunk back into my couch to watch TV, and about 5 minutes later, I got a text from him that was like, "You sure? I just want to make you come again, and that's it." It's like, what the hell made him think that he did it in the first place, you know? And so I ignored him, and then 6 minutes later I received another text that was like, "Oh great, story of my life, ha ha, I'll talk with you soon, I hope." So I ignored that one as well. And 8 minutes later I received another one that was like, "But hey, seriously, you're amazing. Give me a call sometime soon." And I hadn't answered the first two, and I didn't bother answering this one, so I just, I passed out on my couch, and then my phone woke me up several hours later. It was like 1 a.m., and it was him. And so I pressed ignore with like more purpose than I ever had before in my life. And then I saw that there were 2 text messages as well. One was at 11:54, which was like a couple hours after he left my place, and it was like, "You still up? I bet you are. Call me." And then the other one was a picture that he took of himself with just a bow tie on. That's it. And the text said, "I miss you." But the "you" was just you, it wasn't like And then in the morning I checked my email, and what do you know, it's Dick in my box. And he wrote, "Hey little lady, sorry for calling you so much last night. I guess I was a lot drunker than I thought. LOL. But really, you are great, and I'd love to see you again. We should hang out soon." And I wrote him back saying like, "Yeah, I was really drunk too, take care." And that seemed like a sufficient kiss-off to me. But then 2 days later, guess who called me? Like, "Hey, Mr. Clingy Prostitute." So I never took any of his calls again, and I never returned his texts or emails. But the thing that really pisses me off is that people are always like really quick to accuse girls of too easily becoming emotionally attached after they sleep with a guy, but I've never heard of a call girl just wanting to hang out with a John because they were cool, because they liked him. And so, like, I just think that women are far more capable of compartmentalizing issues of like sex and love and work and play than people or men give us credit for. So, considering the way we handled our business transaction, I think that maybe I was the dick and he was the pussy.